We're really honored to have such great guests, celebrities, and athletes with us today. Good afternoon, I'm Keith Zimmerman. I'm the CEO of Medical City Children's Hospital. Today we're proud to accept a generous donation from Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks that will make life better for our young patients. It's a gift of fabric sleeves and wraps to help hold our pediatric patients' central and PICC lines in place. The CareAline wraps being donated today were created by Kezia who developed the sleeves and wraps out of unfortunate necessity when her own daughter was undergoing chemotherapy for neuroblastoma. We're pleased that she can be here today to tell us her story and how the Dallas Mavericks donation came about. The sleeves and wraps will help protect our pediatric patients and their lines, which will improve the quality of care and the quality of their lives. On behalf of Medical City Children's Hospital and the children and families that we serve, thank you Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban, Kezia, and CareAline for your generous donation. This donation directly correlates to our mission here at Medical City Children's Hospital, which primarily states, above all else, we're committed to the care and improvement of human life. We're honored to partner with you. Now it's my pleasure to welcome Rolando Blackmon, Dallas Mavericks legend and community ambassador, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, too. Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman. For me, it's so very important to note and understand that at times, this is some of the special things that go on in life. When you have Medical City, also Mr. Zimmerman, all the staff here, I'd like to also make sure, first of all, to introduce and have the opportunity to introduce Zaza Pachulia, who you all know very well, one of the guys who is playing some fantastic basketball, not only for the Dallas Mavericks, but also one of the leaders in the league and putting the game together, and one of the staple points and most consistent pieces as to why this team is doing so very, very well this year. So please give a great acknowledgement to Zaza Pachulia. I don't know if all of you know this, but I also wanted to make sure and acknowledge one of the bright lights of my life and our family's life, a registered nurse who is here in labor and delivery also. My own daughter, Brittany Blackmon's right here also too. Tell her, Brittany, Miss Medical City. There you go. Definitely so. So for having the babies, Brittany, I know you're the best person for it, for sure. I'm very pleased to be here simply because the Dallas Mavericks have always been completely tied to the community, understanding the value, the needs, and trying to assess and getting into a deep understanding of what needs to get done as far as what the community needs, and putting ourselves foot forward to being able to be a part of it and getting those actions going. I think anytime you know and assess and you think about the Dallas Mavericks and their history, you understand that they've always been a part of the things that go on in the community, whether it be education, whether it be the planning, and really having the opportunity to get involved in all the things that people are doing here to being able to advance the form in not only sport, but in the actual life of what people do each and every day. That's why we're so, I would say, in the internal part of it, that's why we're so happy and so forthright in being able to be a part of the Kezia Fitzgerald world, in being able to know and understand that a person like Kezia was moved to action. Many times people think about things, many times people have problems, many times there are things in life that we sit and don't move for. But Kezia was one of those that put the call to action together, got the opportunity to understand that there was a need to be placed, not only for herself and the personal pieces that her family was going through, but also the understanding that this would help the world at large, which puts her in that leadership, that innovation class that puts her at the top of the food chain in making sure that our world, the world we are going about, and the things that are going to be happening for ourselves and our children in the future will be well taken care of, because we have people like Kezia around who not only think about the problem, put the problem together, get the action going, and now bring out the whole format for the rest of the world to take part in, and making the world a better place for the things that are happening in CareAline sleeves and also the CareAline wrap. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to one of the innovators, the leaders, the people who make it happen for us, Kezia Fitzgerald, please.
Hi everyone. I'm overwhelmed by the introduction. I feel super special right now. I'm Kezia. I'm co-founder of CareAline Products and also the creator. At CareAline, we provide functional line and risk management garments for PICC and central lines. Many of you might not know that each year over 5 million central venous catheters and over 145 million PICC lines are placed. In 2011, my daughter was one of those patients. At 11 months old, my daughter Saoirse was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, an aggressive pediatric cancer. She needed to start treatment immediately, so they placed a PICC line so that she could start. That PICC line was everything from a teether to a drumstick, and it constantly caught on her crib toys and clothing. Terrified that she would get an infection or pull it out, we looked to her nurse for a solution. Her nurse taped it to her arm, but Saoirse immediately got a rash and started scratching. I knew there had to be a better way. Being a creative problem solver, I went home and found one myself. I created a cotton sleeve that would keep the line off of her skin as well as covered, and once that sleeve was on, Saoirse completely left her line alone. Later, when she had a central line put in, we had the same issues, and this time it was also hanging down near her diaper area, an infection waiting to happen. I drew from that sleeve idea and I created a chest wrap. The line was out of sight, out of mind, and Saoirse was free to play and most importantly, be a kid. Quickly, we realized that we were not the only people with this issue. The problem was universal among the patients and families that we met, and even the doctors and nurses recognized that we had a better solution than what was currently being used in the hospital. Sadly, Saoirse lost her battle with neuroblastoma, but we knew that we had to continue to create this product and bring it to market so that other children and adults would not have to suffer like Saoirse did. CareAline was founded as a way to get these products into the hands of all patients worldwide. Nurses, patients, families, and doctors immediately see how our products are needed and can be helpful to their patients. Slowly but surely, hospitals are starting to get on board and starting to purchase the products so that every patient will have access. At the end of 2014, one small children's hospital had a study, and they wanted to help reduce line dislodgements in their oncology patients. Using our products, they brought their line dislodgement rate down to 0%, and now they're using our products hospital-wide. Thank you. We wanted to share CareAline with more hospital executives so that even more patients could benefit from the comfort and protection that we provide. We applied for 2 pitch competitions that would put us in front of exactly the right people. The first was in Boston, and we won a first place prize in that competition. The second was at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, a competition called Impact Pediatric Health, where we won the top 3 awards. While winning awards doesn't guarantee that more hospitals will purchase CareAline sleeves and wraps, the people participating and attending these events can have a great impact on getting the products into the hands of the patients. Impact Pediatric Health is where I met Mark Cuban. Mark was moderating the competition, and after I did my pitch and the judges asked me some questions, he asked me some tough questions of his own, and then he surprised everyone in the room, especially me. He immediately committed to order 1,000 sleeves and wraps to donate to the local Dallas Children's Hospitals so that more kids could benefit from the protection and comfort that CareAline provides. And of course, they had to have the Dallas Mavericks logo on them. Mark saw how needed our products are and how they could help kids of all ages today. He found his own way to help kids just like my daughter Saoirse, and I am honored and glad to be here today with members of the Mavericks to share CareAline with the patients at Med City Children's. Thank you.
Let me please welcome one of our finest physicians on the medical staff here and the medical director for our pediatric oncology program, Dr. Karl Lenarski.
Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for helping to relieve the pain and suffering of my patients. And I guess if there was ever an example of an event that signified that necessity is the mother of invention, I guess you're the mother of invention. probably heard that. Just, I know most of you know what this is all about, but for those of you who may not, let me give you just, a minute of history. If we go back about 25 or 30 years, and I treat children with cancer, the only way we could draw blood or the only way we could give medicine and chemotherapy was to stick the child every day. And some of those treatments go on for days and days and weeks, and it was really brutal to have to do this. You did it because you had to save a child's life, but if you try to do this on a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old for weeks at a time, it's very difficult. And then many years ago, it was actually a surgeon, Dr. Hickman, who actually invented a type of catheter that can be inserted under the skin, go in a big vein, and stay there. And the child could theoretically go home with it. But we were all scared out of our minds. We said, how's that going to work? The kid's going to pull it out. It's not going to work. And by some miracle of nature, we found that kids didn't pull them out. They somehow knew that they were important. But accidents happen, and kids feel good, and they come out by accident. They can be home, they can come out by accident. And one of my fears is the call that I get in the middle of the night, whether it is from a family at home or child in the hospital, little Johnny's line came out. And that could be a life-threatening situation because we have to have access, and sometimes it means the child may have to go to the operating room in the middle of the night. So it's a great fear. And what you have done is give us a way to allay that fear. And I can't say any more about what a great thing that is. So thank you again. Thank you to the Mavs. It's a wonderful thing. I'm serious when I said this is a direct contribution to allaying the suffering of little children. So thank you.
Thanks for everyone for being here. This event really is a microcosm of what healthcare is. It's a team sport. We have physicians, we have nurses, we have child life specialists, we have folks cleaning the hospital to prevent infection, and at the center of it all is the patient and family. So thanks for being here, and thanks for being part of the team.